guy, you know, he's kneeling around what's going on with the black rights movement. You know, he's like, pata nahi kithe dimag chal raha, and you're still sitting there and going, why, Guru, why? But dimag kithe ho raha, that's why you need to close your eyes. And also keep your back straight. ਆਪਣੇ ਸਰੀਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਈ system ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਿੰਗਲਾ ਸੁਖਨਾ ਸਿੱਧ ਗੋਸ Gurbani talks about. A lot of that has to do with your physical body. Even though your physical body is just a tool, think of it like a machine. If your machine is broken or your machine is not working properly, then it's not going to do the work that it needs to do. So that's why you need to keep your back straight as well. As in your lap. Don't sit if you don't do this stuff. Yeah, I know a lot of kids do that nowadays. Start doing Simran the next level. I'm liking it. Don't sit there. Then close your eyes.
But what is only 9% of what's through the eyes?
Concentration. Your concentrated energy. Just energy in general. So
okay.
if you notice, like if you close your eyes, you automatically, like the RAM of your mind. You know, if you talk about computer terms, it starts being used a lot. So if you close your eyes, it takes a lot of stress off and helps you focus on Simran a lot more. ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡਾ ਗਿਆਨ ਇੰਦਰ ਅੱਖਾਂ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ 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 ਸਤਨਾਮ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਫਰੀਦਾ ਕਾਲੇ ਮੈਂਡੇ ਕੱਪੜੇ ਕਾਲਾ ਮੈਂਡਾ ਵੇਸ ਗੁਨਹੀ ਭਰਿਆ ਮੈਂ ਫਿਰਾਂ ਲੋਕ ਕਹਿ ਦਰਵੇਸ ਤੂੰ ਦਰਿਆਓ ਦਾਨਾ ਬੀਨਾ ਮੈਂ ਮਛਲੀ ਕੈਸੇ ਅੰਤ ਲਹਾਂ ਜਹ ਜਹ ਦੇਖਾਂ ਤਹ ਤਹ ਤੂੰ ਹੈ ਤੁਝ ਤੇ ਨਿਕਸੀ ਫੂਟ ਮਰਾਂ ਹਮ ਅਵਗੁਣ ਪਰੇ ਏਕ ਗੁਣ ਨਾਹੀ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਛਾੜ ਬਿਖੈ ਬਿਖ ਖਾਈ ਮਾਇਆ ਮੋਹ ਪਰਮ ਪੈ ਪੂਲੇ ਸੁਤ ਦਾਰਾ ਸਿਉ ਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਲਗਾਈ ਇਕ ਉਤਮ ਪੰਥ ਸੁਣਿਓ ਗੁਰ ਸੰਗਤ ਤਹ ਮਿਲੰਤ ਜਮ ਤਰਾਸ ਮਿਟਾਈ ਇਕ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਪਾਠ ਕੀਰਤ ਕੀ ਗੁਰ ਰਾਮਦਾਸ ਰਾਖੋ ਸ਼ਰਨਾਈ ਡੰਡੌਤ ਬੰਧਨ ਅਨਕ ਬਾਰ ਸਰਬ ਕਲਾ ਸਮਰੱਥ ਡੋਲਨ ਤੇ ਰਾਖੋ ਪ੍ਰਭੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇ ਕਰ ਹੱਥ ਡੋਲਨ ਤੇ ਰਾਖੋ ਪ੍ਰਭੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇ ਕਰ ਹੱਥ ਸਾਰੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਗੱਜ ਵੱਜ ਕੇ ਫਤਿਹ ਬੁਲਾਓ ਜੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ The first beinti that I want to do to you guys is you guys don't know this But since I was a kid, I've been watching East London Keertan videos. One of my biggest inspirations as a young child, Balvinder Singh, that's your name, Hannah? Yes, yeah, I know it was Pal something. I saw it on a video when Keertan connect to Sikhi, ਤੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੋਰ ਜਗਮੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਹੈਗੇ ਜਗਪਾਲ ਸਿੰਘ ਹੈਗੇ ਜੋ ਵੀ all you young guys as well. There's another Panj here, I don't know, her name is Bibi Heera, I think she's around here as well. I listen to Keertan a lot as well. And I heard your brother plays tabla, right? See, I know you guys. Right? ਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਕਈ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ.
We know you from Facebook.
Achha, theek hai. I feel like that the things that I've been watching since for such a long time that thode aake hun menu masan darshan hoya. Even though I've been to England many times, I think thode ithe pehli bari darshan I get to actually sit with you guys for the first time and actually have your darshan in this way. So it's a big blessing for me. ਮੇਰੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਹੁਕਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ to speak about Panj Choor, the Panj Vikar, regarding those and kind of base the talk around that. ਤੇ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਕਰਨ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਵੀ I want to kind of ask you guys a couple of things. Don't think of this as a lecture. That's why we're not using the screen. I'm not standing. We're just chilling and sitting and and I don't know what you call it here in Canada. We just call it chillaxing, right? So we're chilling and we're relaxing, chillaxing. So there's no formalities. कोई भी तुसी इदां विच विचार करनी है. You guys can tell me and ask, and we can just hang out like brothers and sisters. ਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਹੈ ਥੋੜੀ ਇੱਧਰ ਨੂੰ ਆ ਜਾਓ, so I don't have to go like this. ਤੇ my question to you guys is first this, that in your guys' daily abhyas or in your daily routine, I'm sure you guys have this battle against Panj Vikar on a regular basis, right? Because the truth is that until you have this physical body, until you are living in this Panj Bhutak Sri, meaning this 5 elemental body, the Panj Vikar will always have an effect on you, right? Tusi bhame Brahm Gyan di avastha palo, right? But there's still going to be calm or krodh or something that has the ability to influence you. An example is this: you still create karmas, but ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਅਨਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤੀ ਕਰ ਲਈ, you attain liberation. ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਾਮ ਅਭਿਆਸ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਹਉਮੈ ਗਵਾ ਲਈ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਗਿਆਨ ਪਾ ਲਿਆ. In other words, you become one with Paramatma, become one with God. It's like taking a stick and running it through water. What happens? There still are ripples, meaning your karmas, the things that you do, still affect the world, but in just a moment the water just becomes level again and the ripples go away, they don't exist. But until we are in our sense of home and we haven't attained to Brahmagyan, it's like taking a stick and putting it through reta, dirt. You can leave it for like 10 days, but the line is still going to be there after. It's not going to go back and merge with the water. That's because the karmas you do, they affect your future karmas. So the line that you drew, it stays and affects others and it affects you as well. After Brahmgyan di avastha, then it doesn't affect you anymore. But the Panj Vikar is still effective around on your body. It's Dehi, Andar Panchur, Vasai Kam Krodho Ankara. In this day, the main word here is Dehi, if we want to focus on it. When you 5 elemental body and what you see. So if there is this body, and Panj Vikar are affected through this body as well. So if it wasn't for this body, you wouldn't have this Panj Vikar. So the root problem in our abhyas is that we think we are this body. Okay? That's the root cause of it. Even if you go behind that, okay, we understand, okay, I'm not the body. Tusi sare Keertan karne wale, you guys are abhyasis. That's why I want to touch on this a little bit. There is a little voice inside of your mind that speaks. It's probably sitting here right now saying, okay, this guy has a different type of accent, I don't know where he's from. In your post on Connect to Sikhi, you said Harman, Singh, Vancouver. I'm actually from Calgary. So just to let you guys know, whoever made that post, I'm not from Vancouver, never. There's a thing that, because there's a city that's called Surrey there. I'm sure you guys heard it. Whenever somebody says, we ask, where are you from? Sorry, guys, if you're watching this live, we're like brothers in arms. But when somebody says, oh, I'm from Surrey, we always say, sorry. So we just kind of grew up in that way. You probably have that thing, East London, West London thing as well. But anyways, you have this little voice inside of your mind. Okay, you laughed, you're thinking something, and you probably just thought, you know what, this guy's alright, he can make a couple jokes as well, he made us laugh, right? So this little voice inside of your mind, it's thinking, okay, you know what, I got lunch, I got stuff to do, we got a restaurant, we got to play tabla all night and stuff like that. We got to go and drink like milati ala dodh, So you have these thoughts going in the back of your mind. But then a root problem behind that is you think you are that voice, but you're not actually that voice. So aithe, stemming from there, all Panj vikar shine out from there, right? Because the root cause of all problems is you thinking you are separate or different to Paramatma. If you think God is something else, Paramatma is something else, and you are something else, that's where all your problems start. Gurbani, which Maharaj explains 4 types of dukh. The very first one is the one that all the rest of them stem out from. Those are the very first one is pain of separation. The second one is the pain of hunger. The third one is the fear of death, or jamdut tadamar, when jamduts beat you. And the fourth is physical diseases, which is your leg hurts, you broke your leg, you got cancer, you have a headache, any of that kind of stuff, or depression and all that falls under dehi, that falls into the body, bodily diseases. So, dukh vich hoda, ek dukh bhuk, ek dukh saktavar jamdut, ek dukh rog laga tan tai. These are the 4 types of dukh. But out of the pain of separation, बाकी सारे दुख होंदे हैं. होम में दुख गिणिया गया, काम ਨੂੰ दुख गिणिया गया. बाकी विकार, they're all known to be as dukh. Sorry, if I say something in Punjabi, which you guys may not understand, just raise your hand and be like, Virji, sorry, what's the translation of that? Okay, I end up mixing a lot of languages, throw a little bit Hindi in there, throw a little bit of French in there, throw a little bit of Thai in there. That's in Farsi and Arabic. So in the Saral Punjabi that we speak, you can't understand a lot of Gurmukhi behind that. So that's why you have to go to the root words of a lot of these things, whether it's through Sanskrit, where was it used? And if you go to languages, countries like Thailand, they use a lot of words that we use in Punjabi today, but because they're rooted from the same, they say Maharaja and they say Cha. Right? We say Cha Vinia, the same thing. They call it Cha, but they say like Cha, they say it differently. And they say Maharaja in a different kind of tone. Because all these words root from Sanskrit, and even their actual writing in Thai language, which is I found really cool, is actually all Ladivar. Like their regular language, like Punjabi, is all separate, but their language is all Ladivar, which is really cool because it all stems from Sanskrit, which also used in Ladivar, right? When you look in the depths of it, it's really cool. Anyways, focusing back on the man, dukh vich hoda. You think you're separate from Akal Purkh. That's where the entire root problem comes. Let me give you an example. Here's an iPhone. It has 2 eyes, 2 cameras. These 2 eyes look into this world, and I can go in here and I can start recording stuff, okay? So I'm starting to record, and everything that it's seeing through here is going into the phone, and it's keeping it into its memory. When it keeps it into its memory, it stores it there. It could have 100 megapixels, it could have 500 megapixels. It could be 4K quality, it could be 8K quality. But if nobody's using it, the phone's just sitting there. It's just there, and nobody's using it. My question to you is, do those megapixels have any value to it? It's like if a tree falls in the forest, does it make sound? That type of question. If the phone is there and nobody's using it, does the megapixel or does the quality of the phone have any value? The phone is made in the factory and it gets thrown onto the farms, and nobody actually ends up using it. The megapixels mean nothing because it's just, in itself, it has no shakti, it has no power. Apne aap vich kuch bhi nahi hai. Only if somebody uses the phone, then the megapixels have value. The screen has value, the memory has value, the way it connects to the internet has value, all the apps have value, because the value comes to the person using it, not the phone itself. The phone doesn't care how many megapixels I have. It doesn't affect it. So the problem comes that when we start looking into the world with these eyes, hence these eyes, and we start storing it in our memory, which we call our chetanta or buddhi. So chitta vichapa, we start storing everything. We store off of that, then we think of something, and whatever we think of, coming from a buddhi, we base it off of the things that we see through these eyes, and we rebound it, and then we give ourselves a prerna. So this thing that we call gut feeling, it's actually coming from our own agyanta, so our own ignorance. We say, should I do Simran? Do I believe in God? It's a question like that. Then you kind of look based on your own intellect, your own thinking. You teach your own mind. So this little voice in your own head teaches itself, which is ignorance teaching ignorance. So which doesn't help you. So you go around the world and creating opinions on yourself, and you can even say Dil Sacha Hona Chahida, but you're just giving yourself that prerna that by, in order to find God, I just need to have a clean heart. But what is telling you your heart is clean? Right? Mal, filth, darkness, ignorance is telling you yourself that don't worry, you're clean. Which doesn't make any sense. There's actually in New York, this is when the history of the city of New York, there was a person who was a cop killer. He was one of the biggest gangsters, I think in the 80s. He would basically shoot policemen on sight. He was in an apartment with his girlfriend, and that's when the police found out he was there. He had killed, I think thousands and thousands of policemen. And the way he was found was, he was driving and his tail light was not working. So a policeman pulled him over and just tell him that your tail light isn't working. So as soon as the police or the cop, do you guys call it cops here? Police, right? We call it cops, right? So when the policeman comes and he says, pull down your window, your tail light's working, he pulls out a gun and shoots him in the head. Like, idanda bandasika, I'm trying to tell you. In this apartment, he's sitting there, there's helicopters around, snipers around the building. This is one of the biggest shootouts, firefights in the history of New York. He's about to die now. He's been shot. Right before he dies, he writes on a piece of paper. He's saying that everybody is saying that I'm a very bad person, that I have no daya, I have no compassion. But let me tell you that this heart of mine is very, very soft. This heart of mine wouldn't even hurt a fly. So apne aap nu ye keh raha hai that I'm very soft and I would never even hurt a fly. Yet he's killed thousands of policemen with no daya. Mera bhav eh hai, nobody sees their own faults. Nobody will want to see their own faults. If somebody even listens to criticism, either they have to take a patthar, put it around their heart and be like, theek hai, main galti ki thi, I did make a mistake, and you have to bear with and hear the criticism. Or somebody criticizes you and you fight back with them. Because how dare you call me that, We've always find faults in others. We don't find faults within ourselves. So there are 4 parts of your mind, man, chit, buddh, ahankar. Ye tusi sare jante hain. In the Western world, we just call our mind the mind. But if we look into Gurbani or any Pratan, Granth, Sanatan, Dharmi or anything, the mind is always broken up into 4 or more parts. It's not just called one part, man. The mind has different parts within it as well. So each aspect of it, whether it's your buddhi or your intellect thinking, your chetanta is your memory bank, which is being stored on your phone. You could have 256 gigabytes, you could have 32 gigabytes. It's being stored, but the problem comes when this thing forgets that somebody is using it. Do you get it? Ek tusi Keertan de vich shabad padde sige, when Bhai Singh was doing Keertan. He's saying, Murakh bhi ohi hai, te siyana bhi ohi hai. Na, thanu cheta hoga. What does that mean? So one person is holding a phone and I hold a different phone as well. Let's say I'm using 2 phones. It's the same person that's using the phone. To get with this phone, I could be recording something else. This phone, I could be recording something else. This phone could be filled with like Gurbani and Gurbani apps and whatever other things, Kirtan and Katha. And this phone could be filled with pornography, nindya, jugli, and all this other kind of stuff, this phone. But vartada main hai. Do you get it? So let's just say I'm Paramatma. I'm using both of these phones. These two are both bodies. The problem happens when these phones forget that somebody is actually using them. I could be using 100 phones, but I'm still the one using it. That doesn't affect the phones. The problem happens when the phones forget them. So inu kende dukh vichoda. ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਮੂਲ ਤੋਂ ਭੁੱਲ ਗਏ and they are separated from ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਇਹ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡਾ ਕੋਈ ਦੁੱਖ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਾਕੀ ਸਾਰੇ ਦੁੱਖ ਆ all of their pains come from that dukh. So this is the mool, the root. There are 5 types of kalesh, chaos. So we say when you imagine Panj vikar, I'm sure you imagine like you know how they kind of people post Instagram pictures nowadays. They write like calm and they have like a demon holding a thing. You know they try to get you to visualize it, right? So sometimes we think, chalo, they're big, you know, nasty Panj bikhadi ek gariba rakho rakhan hare na khed karar bahut sandave ayo sharan tuhare. So all of these vikars, they're like, you know, demons that are trying to attack my mind and this and that. Mala, you see them as negative things. Anybody see them as positive things? Anybody? Chillax kar de, hai na? So you see them as a little bit positive, hai na? Yeah, you can transform. Oh, chalo, apam badi ka, but if the energy of calm is used in a negative way, then it is negative on you, right? So you have these vikars. You see them as negative and you see them as chaos. But where does this chaos get created from? ठीक है आज तुसी बाणी विच पढ़दे सिमरो सिमरो सिमर सुख पावो कल कलेश तन माही बटावो है ना by doing simran all like the mal and kalesh they get cut from your jivan. Now what is kalesh? Vidya vich panj prakar de kalesh disse gaye hain. The very first one is a vidya, which is a veil of falsehood, what we call ignorance. So the phone forgotten that I'm Paramatma. So somebody that's just doesn't even know. You're living in this house, the sun is shining outside, you see the roof, you're kind of living here, and Virji comes to you and says, hey, have you seen the sun? And you're like, no, I haven't seen the sun. And he's like, you know what's really amazing, because it's like bright and it gives life, and the entire world revolves around the sun. And you're like, wow, that sounds really cool. Okay, Virji comes up to you and he says, you know, the sun's a lie. Jhoot hai. Ye sariyan kalpat cheezain hundiyan. There's no such thing as a sun. And you're like, okay, you don't know. Maybe he proves it to you, right? He gives you a whole bunch of daleels, right? Proofs, logic. And you start believing it. That, you know what? Maybe there isn't the sun because you actually haven't seen it. Or he goes to Virji and he tries to explain, you know, there's no such thing as a sun. And he's like, what's wrong with you? Let's just go outside. I'll show you there is the sun. But he doesn't want to go outside, meaning, oh, na jaandeya hoya, he just doesn't know. And you're also in ignorance because you have never actually seen the sun before as well. Jadon ek wari das piya, there's no way somebody can tell you, you know, the sun isn't there anymore, because you're like, Akiya. You know, what is that thing above me, right? This is the Suraj. In the same way, the Suraj has never been afraid of darkness. Keep that in mind. The sun has never been afraid of darkness, because wherever the sun goes, darkness doesn't exist. So in the same way, je tusi apne asal roop nu pehchan liyo, aaj jinne bhi vikare sare aap bhag jayenge. They all run away themselves, because you become the form of the sun. You are the form of the sun. When then you forget you're the form of the sun, that's when all these come, right? So avidya. Then the second one is asmita. Asmita is when you're thinking that my buddhi, your little voice in your side of your mind, and your true form, your Atma, is the same thing. When you start thinking that your little voice in the mind is your true form, that's who I am, that is the second type of kalesh. Because you're not actually the voice inside of your mind, you're the one that knows that this voice is working. But your voice in itself is because you're giving your own prerna through ignorance, like we spoke about. So oh, I killed, you know, thousands of policemen, but I'm very soft. You know, like there's like, you can read these articles on the internet. Okay, there's a rapist, a serial rapist, or a serial murderer. And somebody asks, like, you know, you need to learn compassion. He says, but I'm full of compassion. I feed my dog food every morning. I love my puppies. Right? But like, you just murdered 100 people. It doesn't make any sense. Even though you may justify it yourself, कि मैं सच्चा हूँ, मैं, you know, निर्मल हूँ, I'm a brahmgyani now. You know, sometimes you hear funny questions as well. And these questions grew from ignorance and not knowing. कई बारी उदां दी संगत नहीं मिली, जां गुरबाणी पढ़ी नहीं हुंदी. I remember I was sitting there speaking to Vidwan one day, and somebody comes up and asks the question. They're like, Gyanni ji, come and tell us, what does the 10th dwar look like? And we're like, he's like, what do you mean, what does it look like? He's like, because we're really scared, because we started doing lots of Simran now, and we don't want to accidentally miss it and go to the 11th one. I'm just like, where is this question coming from? It's like, so tell us, what is the nishani, a sign that, will it say that this is the 10th one, and go here? We don't want to accidentally, miss it and go to the next one. It's like, you end up at the 14th dwar or something like that. It's like, no, but that's the thing. Brahm Gyan, or ਜਿਹੜੀ ਰੱਬ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤੀ ਪਾਉਣੀ, ਹਉਮੈ ਟੁੱਟਣਾ, will of falsehood breaking away, ਰੱਬ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੀਨ ਹੋਣਾ, ਨਾਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਮਾਉਣਾ, you can't miss it. You can't just be like, am I a Brahm Gyani? I don't know. Am I one with God yet? I don't know. Maybe I am, But if you are thinking that am I yet, that means you're not, right? ਸਿੱਧੀ ਜੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ। ਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਰੱਬ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤੀ, ਜਦੋਂ ਰੱਬ ਦੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਹੋਣੇ ਆ, you'll know. And it's not something that you'll miss. That you'll be like, oh, sorry, I thought I saw God yesterday. I don't know if it really was him or not. That's not the way it works. You won't be able to suddhakina, suddhare, buddhakina, buddhamatame na matha. You won't have any suddhi left. You won't be able to see. All you'll see Paramatma everywhere. Ek main thonu mara ke ek prasang itihas vichon suna denna. What is this was madda? What is kudrat? Shakti kitthon sari vichon pichon kitthon aandi hai sari. This is going to help you understand Panj Vikar. I mean, Panj Vikar, Kaam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ahankar. You guys all know this. But kitthon paida hunde hai, kyun hunda, and how do you battle this? How do you physically battle this? But in order to know where something is coming from, the root of it, that's when you can start kind of laying out your path and knowing, this is maybe how I can fight calm, or should I actually be going towards this? Because in a lot of youth today, ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਚਲੋ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਮਾੜੀ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ but within a lot of our youth that we do lots of Keertan and Katha and Gatka, and we are involved in the Gurdwara a lot. But in this type of Sangat even, calm is one of the biggest problems. You guys know this better than I do. Or maybe I know it better, I don't know. But that's because we don't even know what calm is. We don't know what krodh is, how to battle it, where does it come from, what is the purpose of it. You're saying maybe can you be used as positive and used in a different way. But ye pata hi nahi hai, I hand fire to you and you have no idea what to do with the fire, and obviously you might burn your clothes with it. Right? So ਪਹਿਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਇਸ ਸਾਰੇ ਸੰਸਾਰ ਵਿੱਚ you have to realize ਕਿ ਸਾਰਾ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਹੈ. So instead of seeing the negativity in the world, you see the positivity. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Sache Paatshah, they were sitting at the edge of Ravi, the river. And while sitting there, they said to Bhai Mardana, they say, Mardana maine bhukh badi lagi hai. And Mardana was always like the confused one, not confused in that sense. Oh, we Brahma Gyani badi badi sige. But he's like, Maharaj, main ki liyawa and stuff. But he understood what Maharaj was saying, because Mata Tripta ji actually told Bhai Mardana that my son is never hungry for food, he's hungry for the dunya of Kartar. So Bhai Mardana pulled out the rabab and started playing the rabab. Te Guru Nanak Dev Ji Keertan unhone shuru kar dita. After doing Keertan, Maharaj Samadhi vich chale gaye. So he sat there for several days and Maharaj stayed in Samadhi. There was a maid who used to carry milk on top of her head. You probably can imagine she's holding a big pot, a gadaba on top of her head, and she's walking back and forth across the street. And she's been noticing every day that I walk here in the morning and in the evening, but this saintly person, this sadhu, is sitting here and he's been meditating on God for so many days. There's something different on his face. Maybe, I should go feed him something. He hasn't eaten in so long. So she's like, Magri, Biniya, I don't have any money, I can't give anything. I was like, maybe I can give him a little bit of milk. So she takes a little bit of milk, goes to Sache Paatshah and says, oh, Sadhuji, drink this, drink this milk. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji opens their eyes and Bhai Mardana Ji pours the milk. Guru Nanak Dev Ji smiles, drinks the milk. After Maharaj drinks the milk, then Guru Sache Paatshah said to Bhai Mardana, pour milk and get her to drink it as well. And she said, but Sache Paatshah, this milk is for you. And he says that, no, you drink this milk now. I'm giving it to you. And keep in mind that milk is, because it's being offered from the Guru now, it's not just milk or amrit ban gaya. Okay? So the Bibi, she drank the Guru's amrit. She got the milk from the Guru. As soon as she drank it, basically she went into the state what we call Vismad. The Vismad Naad, the Vismad Jeev, Vismad Ved, the Vismad Rupa, Vismad, Vismad Naga Firajant. That you look in the world, you say, look, there's so many different animals, there's so many different people. Look, some people are tall, some people have English accents, some people have British accents, some people have Newcastle accents, some people have Scottish accents. You come into like England, you just go Vismad, and it's like, whoa. And, so many, there's like big people, small people, ignorant people, smart people, then there's animals, and then some animals don't even wear clothes, and look at all the colors in the world. Like, this is the wondrousness of the Akal Purkh, na? And you say, wow, that's the only thing that comes out of your mind. But now she's into this state of Asmad, where she just doesn't see anything but Paramatma anymore. Brahm Drishti nu mil gayi. So she sees Paramatma eko rupana. That's all she sees is Paramatma. And Odi bolli badal gayi. Everything changes. She goes home, and her Malak, whose name was Doda, he's the one that owned the cows, in which the milk would come from. He noticed that Idi bolli da sara jeevan badal gaya. That there's not, first she would get a little bit irritated, but there's no irritation in her bodhi, in the way she speaks. Her bodhi is so mitti now. The way she walks is different, the way she looks is different. These vikars, we can say, chalo andron panj vikar mar gaye, but je baaron nahi mar gaye, see, they're connected to the dehi. But jadon tusi apne aap nu dehi de vich paramatma vich leen kar do, then koi vikar aa nahi sakda, because vikars are rooted from ignorance, from separation. If there's no separation left, there's no vikar left anymore. Okay? So that's really the ultimate thing. So the answer to fight Panj Vikar is get Brahm Gyan. Ask the Guru again, okay, Har Prayoswami get the Dija Buddha Babeka. That's really the answer. But we're fighting this battle. Okay, I'm trying to do my Nityanam. Why do like egotistical thoughts come? I'm playing tabla. Why do I get, egotistical? Okay, my tabla is the best tabla in the world, that type of thing. But these are things that you step because you've forgotten the big mission. The Doda comes to Sache Pacha, and he says that my milkmaid, that she's in the state of wondrousness now. Why don't you bless me with that type of anand as well? Minnu bhi idan da anand do. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, who are you? Tu kaun hai? And he says that Sache Pacha, main oh haan jehda tusi dudh peeta. The person whose milk you drank. And Maharaj is like, I drank your milk? And he's like, no, sorry, not my milk. You drank my cow's milk. And Maharaj said, your cow? How is the cow yours? And he says, because I bought the cow, I owned the cow. He's like, how did you buy it? He's like, I paid for it with money. He's like, how did you get the money? He said, I grew crops and I sold grains for it. And Maharaj said, then where did the grains come from? He said, it came from the land. It came from the tarti. He said, whose tarti is it? And he figured out what Maharaj was trying to tell him. And he says, this tarti is my kartar's. Tarti meri nahi, Rabb di tarti hai. So meaning, dudh is not mine. The grains were mine. The money wasn't mine. This body isn't mine. So really the milk that I gave you was actually just kartar's. It wasn't mera ta hai nahi si, hai na? Mera mujh mein kuch nahi, jo kuch hai so tera. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, फिर देखो, जे ये सारा कुछ ओदा आया, फिर तेरा शरीर भी ओदा ही है, फिर तू भी करतार दा है. And he says, फिर सच्चे पातशाह मैनू बख्शो. समझ आ गई ना, बुद्धि टेगी, निम्रता आ गई गुरु दे सामने. He fell at Maharaj's feet. Maharaj says, फिर बोल सत करतार. Maharaj ने चलो नाम दिता उन्हें. He says, सत करतार. And he started saying the Basmad Drishti as well. He went into Anand. When he felt that state of Anand, he says, Sache Pacha, that I'm going to name a city after you because you blessed me with such a big thing. I'm going to name the city Nanakpur. You probably know where the story is going now, right? And Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, if you're naming it Nanakpur, this Nanak is also not Nanak. This Nanak is also Katha. So why don't you just name the city Kartarpur? So that's where at the edge of river, Ravi, Kartarpur is founded, right? And now currently in Pakistan. So in each of these things, देखो, वो अपने आप ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਹੀ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦਾ ਹੈ ਮੇਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਂ ਤੇ ਰਣਵੀਰ ਜੀ ਰਾਤੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਤੇ we give credit to each other, right? We praise each other, but ਅਸਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਦੇਖੀਏ ਨਾ we actually can't have credit for anything. Okay, let's say for example ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੋਈ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਸਾਂਝੇ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ Where did this come from? Right? Okay, my ustad taught me. My father taught me. Somebody who sat me down and said, "Aa Gurbani de ye arth hai." So he taught, my ustad taught me, ਮੈਂ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਕਿਤੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਕਰਕੇ ਕੁਝ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤ ਹੋਇਆ. So really, does the credit go to me, or does it go to the Gursikhs who sangat that I got? It goes to them. So if it wasn't for them, really, ਮੈਂ ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ. Okay, you know, ਦੂਸਰੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੋਈ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ, you know, where do you get your chole sewn from? I don't know, there's a tailor in India, you know, all the credit really goes to him. है ना? ਕੱਪੜੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਹੋਰ ਨੇ ਬਣਾਏ ਆ, ਉਹਨੇ ਮਤਲਬ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਰਤਾਰ ਵਰਤਦਾ ਆ. ਠੀਕ ਹੈ. Okay, Virji, you know, you do all of this stuff, and I was like, you know, there's actually Gursikhs that support, and the Sangat sunn wali hai, tahan eh cheez hundi hai. Or somebody taught you tabla, somebody taught you Keertan, somebody taught you how to read and write, meaning you can count every little bit in your life, and you can cut it out one by one. At the end, you'll be left with nothing. You can say, okay, well, I at least have my body. But if it wasn't for your mom and dad, how would you be here? Right? So if it wasn't for your mom and dad, you wouldn't be here. And even if you had all of this, but tere sariir vich swas nahi si, then all of this would be nothing. Rabb ne swas ditte hai, Rabb keh sakda, acha vadda baniya firda, let's cut that breath right now. And all of this ankar that you have, it means nothing. It's a pile of filth, pile of dirt. Well, kuch meko maan karan di koi gall nahi hai. So what I'm trying to tell you, when you focus on these details in life and you start visioning everything, acha ye bhi gun mera nahi hai, ye bhi mera nahi hai, your entire thinking becomes like this ki mera mujh mein kuch nahi, jo kuch hai so tera. You start giving everything to Paramatma, then this becomes your form of abhyas. ठीक है, तो 24 घंटे रब ਨੂੰ याद ਰੱਖਦੇ ਆ. This vidya, this knowledge, this contemplation lets you see the bigger picture. ਸੰਗਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਕੀਰਤਨ ਕਰਨੇ ਆ, ਬਾਣੀ ਦੀ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ. The Gurbani should be just 24/7 going in your mind. It doesn't mean you go to the program, do Asa Diwar, Keertan, and then go out and just do Nindya Chugli. Or you go, मैं थोड़ी सिद्धि जी गल करन लगा हुण. You know, there's like somebody playing tabla and the Panji looks and looks at the Paji playing tabla, and the guy playing tabla looks at the Panji, and they start texting each other afterwards. ਇਹ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਸੰਗਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ. So really, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੰਗਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਕੇ ਲਾਹਾ ਕੀ ਲਿਆ? There's a ਸਿਆਣਾ Gursikh in Canada, he always used to say ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੰਗਤ ਕਰਕੇ ਆਏ ਹੋ, or did you just sang at? Did you sangat or did you sang at? Or did you just sing there and show people that this, look how beautiful uchi my voice is, and you like, you know, apa sare Keertan, like from a young age, you know, we always do it at Sabais, and you know, Keertan hon vi bada anand hai Maharaj di kirpa naal, hai na. But the thing is, je bas ehi dikha ke aa gaye, really what have we really gained from it? But chalo sangat ta karde hain, we're still gaining something from it, but the intention we're doing it from, we're putting our own mal in front of it, which is stopping us. ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹਲੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੀ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ that why don't we go out, take the Gurbani into you know, contemplate it 24 hours of a day. So it shouldn't be we go into Sangat and then, or you know, we get this anand, we go into a little bit of state of high, we call it the kind of the Sangat high, the Keertan ras, bੜੀ ਵੱਡੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੈ. Then we go out, ਚਲੋ ਨਿੰਦਿਆ ਚੁਗਲੀ ਸੁਣੀ, ਕੰਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਿਆ, ਮੈਂ ਗਿਆਨ ਇੰਦਰੀਆਂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਬਾਅਦ ਚੋਂ ਕਰਦਾ ਹਾਂ. It's going to go into our mind, going to go into our ears. Okay, and then we kind of drop back into the world, and then we say, you know what, we need sangat. Okay, so badi changi gal hai, we go back to sangat, we find it high, but then we always just end up living in this. We go to sangat, lift ourselves up, and go up, down, up, down, up, down. We live our entire life just in here. When instead you go there, it should be like this, and next time you go, it should be like this, and then like this, and this, and this, and this, and this. Or tusi hor guru de naal Sikhi chalo, hor Gurbani. So to be honest, every time you go and ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਕੀਰਤਨ ਸੁਣਦੇ ਆ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਦੇ ਅਰਥ ਜਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਕੰਠ ਕਰਕੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਓ ਵਾਪਸ, right? Even if it's 2 lines, something that in today's program ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ 2 ਪੰਕਤੀਆਂ ਸੁਣੀਆਂ, and you walk out of that program, instead of talking about the latest football game or what player got drafted where, or what latest suits came out of where, ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ contemplate that ਸ਼ਬਦ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਉਸ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਦੀ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਕਰ ਲਓ. ਵੀਰ ਜੀ, you know, what stuck out to you in today's program? instead of saying that tune was really cool, say, you know, ਇਹ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਦੇ ਅਰਥ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬੜੇ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਲੱਗੇ। ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਫਿਰ your buddhi starts going in like this. So ਬੁਰਾ ਨਾ ਮੰਨਣਾ, don't take anything I'm saying in the wrong way, because we're all brothers and sisters. ਆਪਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਦਾ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੇਖਣਾ ਆ, ਹਨਾ? So ਜਦੋਂ we do vichar of this and it goes into our mind and we contemplate it, holi holi ਫਿਰ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ, we start seeing, okay, you know, okay, what is really valuable in life? ਠੀਕ ਹੈ? What is the true purpose of life? Mera sari, chalo, it's maybe max 80 years, 100 years, maybe longer than that. Okay, centuries, 100 years, 1,000 years. Okay, we look at it, you know, we can look at it the size of a jog. ठीक है? Malay vidya ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਸਿਖਾਈਆਂ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ ਕਿ ਜੋ 4 ਜੋਗ ਆ, there's 4 different jogs, and then when each jog happens, think of that as one cycle. That one cycle, when that happens hundreds and thousands of times, think of that as equal to one day in the life of Brahma. Brahma is sustaining energy of this Srishti. ਜਿਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਪੁਰਖ ਨੇ ਸ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਟੀ ਸਾਜੀ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ? Brahma lives for thousands of years, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ? And now when the life of Brahma comes to an end, then something happens called Mahaparlay, when all of creation goes into Sona Samadhi, ठीक है? It goes into bas ek Paramatma vich leen hunde. So there's no duality left anymore. When there's no duality left anymore, then, well, because there's no time then anyway, so you can't say Akal Purkh was in oneness for this long, because there's no time then. Okay? So then Maharaj creates Srishti again. So this Pasara has happened many, many times. Kai baar pasriyo Pasara, Bani vich padhte hain. So it didn't happen once. So, and all of this, many, many pasari, many creations, many jugs, many universes, many cycles and all this, and just even look thousands and hundreds and thousands of years, you have your little life. In your little life, you had, you know, like in your one of these little years in your little life, in 1 week, you know, out of that 1 week, there were 7 days, and one of those days, there's 24 hours, and 24 of those hours for 5 minutes, in one of those 24 hours, you got in a fight with your friend and now you're depressed about it, and now you want to kill someone, you want to ruin your entire life. You know? That's why Maharaj says, He kal mool krodhan kudanch karna na uparjita. Maharaj takes out krodh, or Guru Arjan Dev Ji takes out calm, takes out lobh, sara, and they put it in front and they say it to krodh. They say, He kal mool krodhan kudanch karna na uparjita. Because of you, तेरे करके साडे दिल दे विच करना, meaning दया नहीं आ सकती. There's no daya, compassion that rises in our heart because we have krodh. Where does krodh come from? Because we start thinking that things are mine. We have expectations. ਗੱਲ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ. If you start thinking nothing is mine, ਇਹ ਵੀ ਮੇਰਾ ਨਹੀਂ, ਇਹ ਵੀ ਮੇਰਾ ਨਹੀਂ, ਸਾਰਾ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦਾ, and this is your entire day's contemplation, कि जो भी हो, जो होवे होवत सुजाने प्रभु अपने का हुक्म पहचानना. The route to getting rid of your anger problems is this. Start accepting prana. That whatever happens, it was meant to be. That's how you practically will tackle it. Because your mind, that little voice inside your head, it says that I expected this. Therefore, if this didn't happen the way that I wanted it to be, then your ego gets hurt. And once your ankar gets hurt, then it, you know, fights back. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're a little child. You all went to nursery. You all went to primary school. Before you went to school, your mother said, "Jadon tu sham nu aunga, and when you come home today, I'm gonna make pizza for you." Okay? And you get so excited. Like, Mom said we're gonna get pizza tonight. So you're at school, you're telling all your friends, "Hey guys, what are you having for dinner today? We're gonna get pizza." You know, you're at lunch, or you're eating your sandwich, you're eating your dal roti with achar, but you're thinking, "Shaam nu pizza milna, yaar, shaam nu pizza milna." So you build this expectation of yours. Kar jande, you're running home, you say, "Mummy," and you go and you smell, but you smell tarka. And you go and you're like, "Mummy, but you said pizza." Mummy's like, "Mera time nahi lagya, aaj dal khala." So you're so hurt by it. He's like, "Nahi, but you promised pizza. You're not my mom. I'm not your son. I'm leaving." You know, like, kinna kuch chapa keh jandi hai na. Example yeah. Okay, next, the mom says, आज तेनू दाल रोटी मिलनी है, ठीक है? So बच्चा's expecting dal roti tonight. He goes to school and he's like, it's just normal. He comes home, you know, there's dal roti. I'm not calling dal roti bad. Don't think this. I love dal roti. It's the most healthiest thing that you can eat, है ना? पर मैं उधम बच्चे दी अवस्था दी गल करदा, है ना? कई बार अपन जीभ दे स्वाद पिछे, we get angry over these things as well. And we call it hungry and angry together. And child comes home, eats dal roti, he receives what he was expecting. It's kind of normal. Maybe his attention is not on the food right now, it's on playing games or whatever happened at school. Next day comes, the mom says that I'm not going to be able to make anything for you today. I have to go to a doctor's appointment. So you have to make dinner yourself. The bachcha is thinking all day, oh my god, main shaam nu ki khaunga, pata nahi ki banunga. So he's at school and he's telling his friends, I don't know what I'm going to make at home today. I'm probably going to sleep hungry, pata nahi. Then he goes home and even while eating lunch, he's like thinking, pata nahi shaam nu ki banaunga, pata nahi. I don't know if I'm going to be able to eat tonight. He's like planning, I can make maybe mac and cheese. Maybe I can just eat candy. Or I don't know what he's thinking, right? He comes home and he sees his mom there and his mom made dal roti. And he's like, Mom, you're supposed to be at the doctor's. She's like, no, I got cancelled here. And he's so happy. Fine, I don't have to cook. I can eat dal roti. But look, what actually happened was the same throughout the 3 days. First day, prashada dal roti mili. Second day and third day. But what the difference was what he was expecting. That affected his anger and his happiness, everything. So when we let go of these expectations we have in ourselves and everybody else, then krodha nikal juga. Why do you get angry? Why do you get angry at your kids? Because a child in your mind is not supposed to act in this way. Therefore you're like, why are you doing this? This is not like, that's not how people are supposed to act. Somebody does something that you think you would never expect them to do. So you have this thing inside of your mind that, like why would somebody, you just can't comprehend, why would they do that? Did they have sick intentions towards you? Or did they have evil intentions? Or are they egotistical? Are they doing nindya chugli behind your back because of this? Because you don't expect that. So third andar krodha hai, tusi mere bare kidda keh ditta? It's not your expectation. I forgot Sant Singh Ji Maskeen, who used to say this in the Katha. They would say that, sometimes we haven't, even though somebody like me might stand here and we say, मैं दास हाँ, मैं गरीब हाँ, मैं कुछ नहीं पता मैंने, है ना? Let's just say, but we even बुलारा, we see that with the intention because you're gonna be like, वाह बड़ी निम्रता है, you guys have that expectation, I have the expectation you're not gonna say, yeah, you don't know anything, okay? I say मैं गरीब हाँ, मैंने कुछ नहीं पता. What if one of you stands up and say, हाँ, तूने कुछ नहीं पता, चल निकल जा, right? You don't really know anything. I'm gonna be thinking like, oh my god, like, who are you to tell me, even that is with an expectation. So anything that you do, you come to a program, Keertan to karna hai. Kai vari apan chalo dekhde hain, है ना? Like tabla player is not playing according to your stature of your Keertan, है ना? You thoda offbeat chal gaya, you're like, you look at him with this deadly, how dare you go offbeat? You messed up my reputation. Tu menu offbeat kita. Tu mera kuch nahi lagda, main tera kuch nahi lagda. You know what I mean? It's like, and then you go and you text people, that guy messed up my tabla. Ye apne jathe vich kinniyan cheezaं hundiyan hain, na? So taan karke this is the reality. Or make sure that person doesn't sit behind me. He doesn't even sing. And I expect everyone to sing with me. Ye gallan hundiyan. Even in our dharmic actions, we hold expectations. Right? So the more responsibility somebody has, the more stressed out and more angry they seem. Because if they're a manager of a school or a principal of a school, or like, for example, president, that's why you always might think, why is the grandpa or like dad always angry? Because they have so many things to worry about. They have their business to worry about, they have their kids to worry about, they have other rishtedar, and something is not working according to them. Jede sade anukool hunde ne, we fall in love with them. Those that work according to us, we attach ourselves to them. Those that aren't according to us, we create conflict with them. Let me go back to the 5 types of kalesh. First one was which one? Tell me. Avidya. Thinking that I and Akalpurk are separate. Ki samjhna that me and God are separate, that's the first type of chaos, kalesh. The second type is thinking that my little voice, my intellect, my buddhi, little voice in my mind, and who I truly am, my atma, thinking that these things are the same, is the second type of kalesh, because they're not the same, they're actually different. who you are and your little voice and your thinking, that's a completely different thing. You're thinking with ignorance. The third type is rag. The fourth is dvash, which I just explained to you. Going according to us, those people we love, we attach ourselves to. You know, let's just say, you know, I'm sitting with Virji, I say, Virji, your glasses, wow. Sony much thodi. Thoda Nike sweater, मैं बागो बाग, भले हारे जावा, and Virji is just like, what can I say, you know? Maharaj di kirpa. And Virji ne kehna, you know, like this person went according to me, you know, so I fall in love with this person. Or let's say, you know, till I go to, I'm going to use you as an example again. I say, Virji, what kind of like jacket is that, man? Come on, man, get in the game. You know, maybe a do-tin galan kadala, make fun of him. And he's like, what kind of much is that, man? Like, and he's going to get upset by it, right? So he's going to like, he called me out. He didn't go according to what he wanted. So, sadde vich vyar pe gaya. So those that are according to us, we attach with mo. That's actually a form of chaos. Because then we attach like expectations that causes us further pain down the road. You know, some Singh, young baby, they're seeking validation, maybe they're pressure from home, pressure from school, and somebody texts them like, hey Panj, you were right, I saw you were kind of feeling down in the Keertan tonight. Right? And then, you know, young Singh feels, you know what, you know, like this is what I was wanting. So we attach ourselves, you know, upon mobile in there. And then you watch all these Bollywood films and that's your influence. You watch whatever British shows or Hollywood and that's your influence. You go to school and you go to college and all these guys and girls, that's your environment that you're living in, right? I've actually been asked by kids, and I say, you know, to see, you know, rishta karna, okay, there are 6 things that you look at, then you need 3 approvals, that you need the Guru's approval, you need the Sangat's approval, and the 2 people that are going to be doing the rishta, and Sangat meaning including the parents. They hukamname vich hunde ke asaish to parshna khan peen peran, these are 6 things that you look at when you're bringing a rishta ke maryada anusar ekdam hunda hai na. Like there's no like dating system within, you know, the Sikh culture. But they say, Viji, we've never seen rishta happen like that. And I think, I'm like, oh, that's a problem, right? Because, to be honest, their elder brothers and sisters, Sangat vich, everybody in the Sangat knows how the rishta came together. Ab so sali gal nahi hai. So what legacy are we leaving for the younger children? And then, you know, publicly it's known that, you know, okay, this guy and this girl in Sangat, they were talking to each other for this many years before they got married and so forth. Chalo, whatever situation comes, there's a way to go about it in which these problems don't arise. Because you work with society, and the main thing these maryadas are put in place by Siyane Gur Sikhs is because they've done the best and they know how the mind works. It's like a young child. A bacha says this. A child is playing and he sees a lion. And he goes and the lion opens his mouth and the young child puts his mouth inside of the mouth of the lion. Right? He's like, ooh, nice tongue, nice teeth, ooh, you know. But he's playing inside the mouth, puts his head in, oh, that's cool. And the lion's like getting ready. And his mom sees. The mom says, Potta, hath bar kar, take your hand out. And he's like, why? The mom says, we'll talk about it later, just get out of there right now. Because that lion's gonna bite and you're gonna, you know, regret it for the rest of your life. You know, you're gonna regret it for the rest of your life. So take your hand out, meri gal sun. And the child goes, Ma, tenu jada pata? You think you know better than me? This is my life. Right? My life, my choices. You know, so sometimes we think like that as kids. ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਇੱਕ ਤਾਂ ਸਿਆਣੇ ਅਭਿਆਸੀ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਹੁੰਦੇ, ਮਾਤਾ ਪਿਤਾ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ, ਇੱਥੇ ਤੱਕ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਦਾ ਗਿਆਨ ਆ ਨਾ, ਵੇਖੋ, in certain situations, Guru Bandi Chhod Divas just passed, right? Guru Hargobind Maharaj actually didn't leave towards Gwalior Killa right away. When Jahangir asked, he didn't leave right away. You know why? Because Mata Ganga ji, their mother, said, no, you're not going to go. Think about it. The Guru, the king, won many, many battles. is 7.5 feet tall, rides 2 different horses, one horse can't handle the weight of Guru Hargobind Maharaj. ठीक है? एड्डा वड्डा तेगा होना दा है. People today have to have 4 hands to carry that तेगा. ते एड्डे वड्डे बल अपने सूर में अपने गुरु. And then they're saying, Mataji, I'm going to Gwalior Killa. And Mata Ganga is like, I sent Guru Arjan Dev Ji, he didn't come back, he didn't, tu bhi nahi jana na. Right? Matlab apne maa de prem vich, hai na? Maharaj didn't go, he could have said, Maharaj could have said, ke nahi Mataji thonu nahi pata main guru haan, main, you know, let me sort it out. But nahi, he stayed, and Baba Buddha Ji, Bhai Gurdas Ji, and all these Gur Sikhs had to convince Mata Ganga Ji. So they would actually go turn by turn to Mataji's room and be like, Mataji, so let us explain. So Maharaj should go to Gwalior Killa because of this. Don't worry, we'll make sure. Even Maharaj saying, like, if we say it in today's terms, like, Mom, I'll be okay. You know, like, just let me go. Come on, man. I'm like a warrior. I'm like, you know, Parjoda Paravkari, and you know, I have a big shield and all this kind of stuff, right? Talpanjan Guru Subrahma, that's who I am, right? So Maharaj is explaining this to the mother, but Guru Hargobind Maharaj still didn't leave until Mataji said, "ठीक है तुसी जाओ, थानू मुझे like I accept के कोई मैनू अपना दिल थोड़ा करड़ा करना पैना है, and I'm gonna let you go, just like I let Guru Arjan Dev Ji go, है ना?" So ਇੱਥੇ तक गुरु साहब ने सत्कार रखिया सियाणियां दा, ਵੱਡਿਆਂ ਦਾ. So when we kind of take things upon ourselves, that's our own ignorance. I'm going to go back to the buddhi, our own ignorance, giving our own mind prerna. That's we create that into a bandhan. We don't know anything, and we say, you know what? So we see things in the world based on what we see and what we hear. We create an opinion. Take it? That's our intellect. Then, based on our mind that we've already created, we match these two things together, and we make a decision. And whatever that sankalp or vikalp is, that turns into a karam, that turns into an action. Now that karam is either a mela karam or a nirmal karam. But the true nirmal karam can only happen after you attain naam and Guru ne thode man de vich sari mel kad diti. Like for example, if there's mud in a cup, no matter how clean the water is that you pour in, it's gonna come out muddy until all that filth comes out, and then the water can start going clean as well. Ek dvash hogi, ek rag ho gaya. The fifth kalish is abhinivesh, which is having fear of the future and having fear of death. So most of our fear, it comes from the fear of the unknown. There's a child, he's scared to go under his bed because there's a booby monster there, right? Pata nahi thale. Dad shines light, look, there's nothing there. And the child, while his dad is there, the child will be like, you know what, I'm comfortable now. But when the dad's not there, it's like, I don't want to go there because I don't know what's down there because it's dark, it's creepy, it's scary. So then why are we scared of death? Because we don't know what's happening. Guru can show you what's happening. Guru explains it all. Nanak jiyo paye ka likhna ve taram pe hale utte sache hi sach ne bada chanbak kade jaj malya tha na payan kudiyar mo kale do tik chalya tere nair te si jan gaye har gaye se jagan walya. But it explains what's going to happen. This gets rid of the fear of the unknown and the fear of death. Because when you look back at it, how do you get mukt then, right? The Jivan Mukt so akhiya. Only those people get to be known as Jivan Mukt that die whilst living. How do you die? ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਆਪ ਗਵਾ ਲੀਆਂ. Your home is there. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮਤਲਬ ਸੰਸਾਰ ਤੋਂ ਵਿਛੜ ਗਏ. The true way to get rid of vikars, whether it's calm, whether it's krodh, whether it's lobh, greed, attachment, whether it's ankar, you have to find virag in your life. Virag is detachment from the world. Gurbani says, Bhagatan ta sansariyan jod kade na aaya. The sansari people walk one way, the worldly people will walk one way, and the bhagats will walk one way. Because their path is a completely different way. That's not to say that you don't live in the world. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the way you live in the world is completely different. One of the rastai vakraya. And how do you truly get virag? To get virag de arth ki hai. Let's look at this first. Virag means knowing and realizing that anything of any value in this world, power, beauty, wealth, hunger, anything you can, buildings, anything that has any value in this world, you consider to be worth less than human feces. Do you get? You consider it to be worth less than human waste, human feces. Because a cow's dung can be used for something. Horse poop can be used for something, right? It's still nutritious. You can create bati out of it. You can do all this kind of stuff. Human waste is the dirtiest waste out of all junes. It's absolutely useless. It smells the worst as well. Trust me. A cow's poop does not smell that bad. If you had that much human waste piled up in a corner of your farm, trust me, it would smell much worse. It's worth nothing. When you see anything in the world and be like the worthless beyond worthless, that's when you know Biral, because then you have something else in mind that's actually more valuable. What is that? No? Oh, Mara the naam hoga, like jeda rasta you're walking, Paramatma sari paise dasta. Then something comes in front of you, and you know somebody entices you with growth, somebody entices you with lob. It means nothing to you. How does it mean? What is the actual word, the term for knowing the difference between right and wrong or truth and false? Nu kende bibek. ठीक है? Bibek drishti, bibek buddhi. Bib means two, है ना? Bibek का अर्थ है बे, दो. Ik का अर्थ है one. So going from duality to oneness. What does that mean? You see this world as two. ठीक है? You see you and me. You and me. God and me. You and you. You see a path, you see separation, up, down, left, right, cold, hot, mad, sad. Right? There's two in everything. But when you take that bib and you turn it into oneness, and that's all you see is eko, then it's just, that's what bibek is. Then you get these guns. Only if you can get, so speaking about the fear of death, getting rid of rag, dvash, the attachments and conflicts, and then climbing up to the ladder where you're realizing that your buddhi, your voice inside your mind is not actually who you are. You're the thing that's watching this buddhi. Because you're asleep, you're awake, while you're sleeping and dreaming, while you're sleeping and not dreaming, dreamless state. In these three avasthas that you go through on a daily basis, something still knows that you were in dreamless state, even though your mind was shut off. What is that Chaitana? That's why when you focus on your breath, you do Simran with your breath. You read Gurbani, and then what that teaches you, that look, whether your breath stops, something is still knowing that your breath stops, meaning that you aren't your breath. So when your breath stops and you leave this body, you'll know that I'm not the one dying, my body is the one dying. Imagine that. You can watch yourself die. You can watch yourself, your body crumble away and you become one with Paramatma. Ithe tak avastha ban jandi hai. Inu dhyan shakti kende hai. This is why you do abhyas. This is why you read Gurbani. You know Paramatma is everything, and the more contemplation that you have, that's why you don't talk and eat. You know, we kind of turned langar into a social thing. That's like a Western thing. Gurmat vich ye nahi hai. Gurmat vich every grass, every saas grass, saas grass na visra. Every morsel of food that you eat, anything that you do should be fully focused. So your awareness grows. So then you can watch yourself even leaving the body, जिथे क्रोध दी गल है, जिथे काम दी गल है, लोभ दी गल है, ये सारियां चीजां बहुत बाद चों निक्कियां गल्लां रह जांदियां. What I'm trying to say is set your goals so high that these things don't even come. Maharaj, jite मैं थोनू झड़कना होवे, then I can say, okay, you guys and girls shouldn't be talking, don't have expectations, stop being egotistical. Until you see the bigger goal. If you set yourself with the Sangha, if you're sitting amongst friends that sit there and say, so Virji, how many Sukhmani Sahibs did you do today? And one of the Singhs says, I did 8 Sukhmani Sahibs today. The other one says, oh man, my plan was to do 15, but I was only able to do 12. I'm such a puppy. And the other one says, Chalo, Maradi Kirpa, and I was able to do 23 Sukhmani Sahibs. And and you're sitting there like, what's going on? Right? ਇਹਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਚੜੰਦੀਆਂ ਕੌਣ ਜਾਣੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਨਾਮ ਜੀ you're just like ਚਲੋ ਉਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਕਿ ਨਾ ਦੇਖ ਮਨ ਚਾਹ ਉਠਾਂਦਾ ਹੁਣ ਕਦ ਪਾਈ ਗੁਣ ਦੱਸ that's how you kind of go on this and then when you look at the other side you could be sitting with friends one says okay how many shots can you take and one says I can take 70 shots and one says I can take 23 shots one says my threshold is a little bit low I can only do 12 and you're like oh maybe thoda la hi lawa na big shake and so that becomes your sangha that becomes your intellect. Your buddhi is affected by what you see and what you hear. You were the one that said you watched that video of mine. There's a video I did, it's on YouTube. It's called The 8 Forms of Calm. Yeah? Sarvan, Chitvan, Baat Ekant, Kal Karan, Parja Thampan, and Simran and Keertan, so forth. They go. What it means, where does calm come from? Calm meaning kamnama, desire. First comes from sarvan, meaning whatever you hear, also whatever you see. You're wearing a blue suit, take it? You're wearing a blue dastar. You wore those glasses, you bought those glasses, I'm sure you did, right? Or somebody gifted them to you. Because you've seen the suit on somebody else, a similar one maybe, and you saw this suit, and you're like, you know what, this suit may look good. So you went to the Dukan, I don't know, it was in India, and the guy started rolling all these, out, and avi lalo, and you're probably sitting, awala theek hai, right? Because you've seen other things that were nice, so you kind of created this thing in your mind that, eidan da suit vadiya hunda. Okay? Or you bought these glasses, why aren't you wearing bright yellow, purple polka dot glasses, or like big stars? Maybe if the trend and the culture of the world, everyone starts wearing that, that'll become normal. Then everyone will say, these circle glasses, or these rectangle glasses, this is very old. This is old fashioned. People will say that. It's because the way you see things, the way you hear things, you build an understanding of it. If you want to break it down, if everyone's getting tired. Gyan, Gyata, and Ge. So Gyan is the way, or the information that's coming to me. Get it? Gyata is who's receiving the information, which is my buddhi. And Ge is where is the information coming from. So I'm looking at you. The knowledge that your glasses are black is the information coming through my eyes and is going to my buddhi. The means of it is my eyes, but that's the information going to my mind. So I build an understanding of that. Whether I hear something, I hear a sound, I build an understanding of that. So based on this, I say, I like this or I don't. If you hear Nindya, your mind becomes like that. You hear Guru's Bani, your mind becomes like that. So the way you hear and see things, that's you desire those things. You see a Rolls Royce and you say, oh, I really like that car. Somebody that's never even seen it before, they don't care. They don't know what you say Rolls Royce, they're like, I heard of it, I don't know what it looks like. Right? So that's why when you look at Paraya Roop, Partya Roopana Pekhe Netar, Sadgi Tal Sant Sangeet, you don't even want to be looking. Sometimes you hear questions, is pornography okay in Gurmat? Of course it's not. You're taking that lust and you're putting it into your eyes, you're building your intellect behind that, you're building your understanding of that. And based on what's in your mind, you're going to see of that, you're going to teach your mind, based on your ignorance, your own buddhi is going to teach your mind that this is what is okay. You're going to justify it to yourself, and you're going to continue to do those actions, and those actions are going to be good or bad karmas, because what is good or bad, that's already dictated. You can't say, I think it's okay. That doesn't change what Paramatma's hukam is. If you say, I can find God without the Guru, Naam Japun Dubina, and all this kind of stuff, it's like, that's not the game Maharaj, the game that Maharaj created is a little bit different than that. The rules of this monopoly board is a bit different. So, whatever you hunda, sarvan. You hear something, then once you hear about it, that's where the root of it is that. So, if you want to stop calm coming into your life, you stop looking at things, you stop hearing, you don't sit in that crowd where somebody's saying, that baby said this, or that guy, the one that was playing tabla today, that one, I heard he was like really messed up, man, right? Oh, that girl, she was wearing the blue chunni, yellow chunni, and she's like, you know, I heard she was like, you know, she had this, had these issues and whatever, you know, Nindya chugli kinni maadi ਗੱਲ ਆ ਇਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ, and then next time you look, you're going to just see negativities in people. Okay? Sarvan, Chitvan. Because now you're contemplating that. You see somebody, you see something, and now you want to think about that type of thought all day. The next thing is Bhatigant. Meaning you want to talk to that person separately in private. You want to have an interaction with that person. Then comes Kalakaran, meaning you start attaching yourself to that person. Then comes Parja Thampan, meaning you want to find a way to keep that person as yours forever. After that, then you start making plans in the future. Okay, how can we, you know, get together? And then 24/7, you're doing Simran of that person. Simran meaning remembering. So whether you're at school, whether you're at home, whatever it is, you know, like you see all these like TV shows, and you know, the girls like writing and thinking about the guy all day, and the girls like thinking about the guy start thinking about the girl all day, you know? And then Keertan, wherever you go, all you're doing is you're speaking about that. You're praising that other person rather than you forget. So this entire thing has deluded you one way. So you've attached onto something. When the person is not according to you, then you get hurt by it. Like I've seen Guru Sikhs that do Kirtan in Sangat. They get hurt by something like this. Young 15-year-old boys, 16-year-old girls want to commit suicide, they want to do this. And it's like, where does this come from? They want to crash the cars into buildings and jump off of bridges. So sometimes you have to sit down and hear this kind of stuff, right? Which is kind of the dry side of the, you know, the things that you see happening in Sangat. Why is this happening? Because that don't focus on something, have that vichar and have that sangat around you. Just because somebody's wearing barnas, wearing a dastar, badi changi cheez hai, but vichar ho rahi hai, you're talking about nindya chugli, fir koi arth nahi rehta. It means absolutely nothing. So your sangat should be in that way where it's pushing you towards and getting you to virag and vivek and, you know, kat samti and mukti and all of this kind of stuff. Iddan di sangat honi chahidi hai. Hang out with those that you think you can never be like. Don't just for the sake of it. Your home, you know you're separated. But how can I find that Paramatma? By you being a little bit of selfish. If you know there's a little bit of negative sangat, the reality is you're gonna have to break away from that sangat. It's at school, you know your friends at school are constantly talking about Kam or Krodh or Lobh. You don't want to indulge in that type of situation. Don't watch those types of movies and videos and all that kind of stuff that trigger this. It always starts from something. I was speaking to one Singh, and he was saying, you know, I have a lot of problems with Kam. I was saying, where does it start from? He's like, it starts from, I'm sitting there, I get bored. So I go on Instagram. He says, I'm really into fitness. So I follow a lot of bodybuilding pages. In these bodybuilding pages, the guys are also standing there with their shirts off and posing, but the girls are also, and the way that they're showing the females is not in that same way, right? So there's like, it's sexualized, right? So he's looking at this, and then that triggers it, and then I go on to something else, and then starts going in my mind, and I can't stop seeing it, and then I end up on a pornography website, I end up doing something else, and then that just goes on, and then next time I come, into public and that stuff, it's like I'm trying to get that image out of my mind, it's just in my mind, and it's just like, he's like, I'm in a mess. And I go home, and I can't go to sleep, I can't do my Keertan properly, because that stuff is just in my mind. So when you know the triggers about to hum, just close all those triggers to begin with. Right? Whether it's in whatever way. And you know where this stuff is going to come from. That's only if you want that. The biggest thing that you need is you need a desire to meet God. Then, to be honest, you need to figure that out first. If your mind is just saying, I want to become a good Sikh, I do a little bit of Keertan, I'll tie a kesi at the stall, I'll go to Gurdwara, Langar, and I'll get a good job, and I'll go home, I'll get married, and I'll have kids, and then we'll live our life. That's basically what I want to do. That's not the right way to think of life. Because then you've just set your goal so low. If you think that's your goal as a Gursikh, reality is, bro, you're part of the problem then. Okay? You need to be that inspirational person, Singh and Panj, that's giving inspiration to the rest of the Sangat, that is giving, inspiration where they see you and say, you know what, I want to detach from the world. Because look at this person, they're in such anand. I also want to experience this anand as well. But if you yourself are speaking about this kind of stuff, na ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸੰਗਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਰਕਤ ਆਉਣੀ ਆ, ਨਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਜੀਵਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਉਣੀ ਆ, ਨਾ ਛੋਟੀਆਂ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, or your next generation, right? So this is really where the root comes from. I'm speaking about, I'm going to just touch on krodh a little bit as well. Krodh, when you have expectations, it hurts your ankar, and when it hurts your ankar, then that goes into your buddhi, thodi buddhi naas ho gaya. When your buddhi becomes naas, your entire jivan goes naas, because you're not thinking with your own intellect anymore. You do actions which, you would never ever think that you do. Sorry.
What is naas?
Naas meaning destroyed. Your intellect basically gets destroyed, like a bomb goes on in your mind. And when you're in that type of state, the karma you do still counts as a karma. Not to say, but I was angry and you can apologize, sorry I just got angry, but ਤੁਸੀਂ karma ਕਮਾ ਲਿਆ ਹੈ. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬੁੱਧੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਦਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਲਿਆ ਲਈਆਂ, that's become habitual for you now. So now that krodh, that karma, is going to affect anything that you do in the future, because that has become a pura bla karma now. That past karma is now going to affect your future karmas as well. So if you indulge in this, you make it more and more difficult for yourself. If you're saying, oh, it's just this one time, I'm just playing around with these vices. No. The way to do it, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਵੈਰਾਗ ਕਰੋ. ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸ਼ਕਤੀ ਆ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ, you don't need to try to redirect it. It automatically gets redirected once your vision gets redirected. Like you're saying, Virji, the energy does get redirected. The calm energy does get redirected. The krodh energy does get redirected, but that's not within our control. So see, kari like yoga sadhana which you can try to control and try to redirect and all this kind of stuff. Badi vadi cheez hai. But if you set your vision straight, the guru apne aap kirpa karke humma chipki gayi to fir kuch reh hi nahi gaya na. मतलब महाराज जी कहते पाठ पढ़े और वेद विचारो निवल पे अंगम सादे पांच जनासो संग ना छुट गयो. मैं पाठ भी इन्ना कीता, मैं वेद भी पढ़े, मैं ज्ञान भी पढ़िया. I studied, I learned, I became a king, I did so much donations, I did, I was a great person, I spoke greatly to people. But at the end of all of this, panch janaso sangana chhut gayo. I was not able to let go of these panch vikars. Gal ki hai? Marzab pyare eh bid milna jaye. That's not you meet God. Not by doing actions, not by doing karmas. You meet God by pyare eh bid milna chahiye. Main kiye karm aneka. You follow the Guru's charan, and Maharaj blesses you with the intellect of buddhi. So Maharaj ni bakshish hogi, and you have the blessings of Guru, that's how you meet God. Yeah. So gal ithi hondi hai, if you prove to Maharaj ki Maharaj sache pacha tusi sade te bakshish karo, and we will be able to let go of this. But you make the efforts ki aapa udan de karm karne. You do these actions, you create a moment for yourself where you're able to fall at the feet of Guru. If you indulge in this, you're creating bad karmas for yourself, and in the future, then you're not going to be able to have that moment time where you're able to drop in front of the Guru and Guru is able to bless you. You actually move yourself away from the Guru. Guru to hamesha bakshish karta hai. Sorry if there's any thing that I left out or some things that went unanswered, feel free to ask. Pehli gal main to kuch aunda nahi hai. Main uddaਂ ਹੀ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਮਾਰ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ. I wanted to kind of keep this open and just kind of see where the discussion went. But if there's anything that you guys specifically want to discuss, want to talk about, please let me know. We can try as Sangat together. But if not, then while speaking, while talking, Pataya, Das, Garib, made many mistakes. Right? So please forgive me. But honestly speaking, je Sangat di bakshish nahi hai, then fir kuch bhi nahi hunda. If you guys keep blessing me with the assis, ਤੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜਿਸ ਜ਼ੁਬਾਨ ਤੇ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਆਪ ਹੀ ਕੁਝ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਬੁਲਾਉਣਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਉਹ ਆਪ ਹੀ ਬੁਲਾ ਲੈਣ. Because we don't have the ਸਮਰੱਥਾ. Sometimes I think like ਉਦੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਗੱਲ ਵੀ ਦੱਸ ਦਵਾਂ. Sometimes when I started, I don't know how I ended up on stage and like I'm in Scotland and I'm doing Katha and I'm like, I don't know what country I'm in.
Am I in England? Am I in like, you know, I heard it's Great Britain. I don't know. Anyways, everyone's drinking Iron Brew in the Longer Hall or something. I'm like, I'm sitting on stage and they're like doing Katha. I'm like, I don't know. And then I said some stuff, and then I'm like, never again will I ever sit on a stage, you know? Because like, you know, ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਕਰਦੇ, you don't have to talk. You just do Gurbani ਦੀ, you know, ਜੋ ਵੀ ਕਹਿ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ. And then I'm like, okay, I'm speaking now. Whoa, this is different. ਚਲੋ Singh's pushed me ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਚਲੋ ਸੰਥਿਆਸ ਵਗੈਰਾ ਸਾਰੀ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਨਾਲ ਲਈ ਸੀਗੀ ਵਿਦਿਆ ਪੜ੍ਹੀ ਸੀਗੀ I explained the Shabad, I explained a little bit and I got off. I was like ਮੈਂ ਅੱਜ ਇੰਨੀ ਬੇਇੱਜ਼ਤੀ I embarrassed myself in such a way. Wow, I can't show myself ever again. I'm never, you know what, I'm gonna go live in a pura now and I'm gonna say bye to my mom. I'm living in the jungles. Right, see you guys later. I've had enough of this world. Right, ਇੰਨੀ ਬੇਇੱਜ਼ਤੀ ਮੇਰੀ ਆਪਦੀ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ ਨਾ I'm thinking never again. ਅੱਜ ਤੱਕ ਮੈਂ ਮੋਨ ਧਾਰ ਲੈਣਾ. I'm gonna become like Harman Singh Moni. You know? And then right when I'm thinking this, like I'm like, oh my God, some group of young Singhs come up to like Virji, you know this and this you said that changed our life. I'm just like, what did I say? And like, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸੱਚੀ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਮਹਿਸੂਸ ਹੋਇਆ when they were saying it. It felt to me I was hearing it for the first time. ਕਿ ਅੱਛਾ ਮੈਂ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਕਹੀ ਸੀਗੀ. That's the way you took it out. Maybe I said something else. I don't know what I said. ठीक है? But what they interpreted and what they took out of it, I saw those Gursikhs, you know, started falling in love more. And like, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਬਾਅਦ ਚੋਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਬੜੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਨਾਲ and you know they're all sitting there when they started wearing ਬਾਣਾ ਹੋਰ ਕਈ ਕੁਛ ਹੋਇਆ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ I was like I don't know what I said. ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਕੁਛ ਕਿਹਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਜਿਉਂ ਬੁਲਾਵੇ ਤੇ ਨਾਨਕ ਦਾਸ ਬੋਲਿਆ ਆਪ ਹੀ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਬੁਲਾ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਆ ਦੱਸ only with the ਗੁਰੂ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਦੇ ਸੰਗਤ ਦੇ ਸੀਸ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਤਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਸੱਚੀ ਗਰੀਬ ਦਾਸ ਬਣ ਕੇ I beg for your blessings. You are my youth inspirational sangat that I grew up watching your videos. You know, whether it's the Instagram post and Balveer Singh. And like, you know, Jovi just, you know, all the Singhs that do stuff here in East London. Like, you know, we watching this, you know, I'm surprised when Babin Singh messaged me, like, oh, they want you to do Katha before the dance by at Seven Kings. I'm like, Seven Kings? Like, the Seven Kings? Right? Like, the Seven Kings, right? And he's like, yeah. He's like, it's just a local Gurdwara. I'm like, no, but like as kids, you know, when you're on YouTube and you're like a little 8-year-old kid and you see Rants by Seven Kings Darbar and you're like, you know, like from that age I've been watching you guys. Watching. You know? No, okay, trust me, you guys are inspiration. Whether you guys know it or not, you know, I know all of you. I've seen all your faces sitting in the dance by, you know. So Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji ki Fateh.